There's trouble brewing at Stampede Park, and it's all about beer. This year, the Stampede is hosting a Brew Masters dinner featuring craft beers from BC and Ontario, but none from Alberta. And as you can imagine, that has Calgary's craft scene, well, feeling a bit snubbed. Local breweries have been excluded from selling beer on the grounds there for years because of a long-term contract between the Stampede and Labatt.
Proud to have that 25-year relationship with Labatt and offer their full range of products here on Stampede Park. At the same time, we also know that the Stampede is all-encompassing in Calgary, and that whatever breakfast or whatever pub or whatever bar you're at, you're going to, try something new from Alberta and Calgary and beyond.
All right, so my next guest is finding that a bit tough to swallow. Graham Sherman is one of the co-founders of Calgary's Tool Shed Brewing Company, and he joins us in studio. Nice to see you first off.
Thanks for having me.
Why do you think your beer should be made available on Stampede grounds?
Well, we are some of the proudest Albertans ever, and what we do as brewers is showcase some of the greatest stuff that Alberta has to offer. I know the families that benefit from the barley that we use in our beer. It's the best barley on earth, and a lot of people don't even really know that. So when you think about the Stampede, you think about Alberta pride. This people are coming to Calgary to see our local festival. This is our thing. This is where you can come and see what Calgary's all about. And craft beer is, man, that is as Albertan as it gets, man.
You touch on the barley. Stampede says 85% of the beer that they sell is brewed up near Edmonton.
Yes.
It uses Alberta barley. So
yeah, there's some Alberta barley in there, but craft beer uses up to 4 times as much barley as the macro beers. But they also use they use adjuncts to make beer, make alcohol cheaper and have less flavor. So you're using rice and you're using corn and you're using things to make alcohol cheaper and to make the flavor lighter. Whereas craft brewers, we're saying, if I have to spend more money to get better ingredients to make a beer more flavorful and show something off that's amazing about Alberta, then we do that. We're always pushing the boundaries of trying to add something more local and more flavorful into our beer.
What about the argument that you can get your craft brew at local pubs? It doesn't have to be on the Stampede grounds.
Sure. You know what? There's amazing places. Rose and Crown does a lot of stuff where they really promote local breweries when they're doing events during Stampede. Yeah. They're a great example of a place that does that. But I mean, I know a lot of people that come to the Calgary Stampede to be on the Stampede grounds and see what Calgary's about. And that's one of the things that we don't even say that we should take over all the beer at Stampede because we wouldn't be able to even brew that much. There's a real concept here of economies of scale.
And you're a business guy. You know that they've signed a contract
and
it's lucrative to the Stampede and they need that money. So what exactly are you hoping for?
It's actually not even about the money for us local breweries. What it is about for us is truly Alberta pride. I want nothing more than when people come to our city and see what Alberta's about and what Calgary's about, that they can experience the best of everything. So when they come to the Stampede, there should be an option for you to be able to try all the local breweries that are around this great province.
So you're talking about a designated space on Stampede grounds like a craft brewery.
That'd be amazing. If you think about Canada-wide, craft only takes up about 10% of all beer. So what if we had 10% or 20% of the beer on Stampede grounds? That wouldn't be much of a touch on the big contracts. You'd still get a lot of those contracts coming in. I was sitting for breakfast with my good friend Jim Button at Village Brewery this morning for breakfast, and he had a great idea. He said, what if that 20% of that contract, the craft breweries could make up the difference? You know what I mean? And the sponsorship dollars. Yeah. Then there could be a little spot where little breweries like, boy, our friends at Dandy Brewing Company here in town, they can't make enough beer to supply for the Stampede, neither can we. But as a collective unit, all the craft breweries in Alberta would go nuts to be able to showcase their beer to people visiting.
So it's not going to happen this year. What are your
hopes this year.
Going forward?
My hopes are that enough people make the decision to choose places that promote local and make a standpoint of not saying, screw you, Stampede, because we love the Stampede.
Sure.
We want the Stampede to see that people in our community are making the decision to choose local craft beer, and they say, all right, it's time. I know we're going to look back on this time and say, wow, that was crazy when we couldn't get craft beer at the Stampede. It's coming. It's just a matter, I think, of being, loud enough in a positive way where they say, all right, let's put this little area here for the craft brewers and give them some love.
Cheers to that, Graham. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.